Welcome everyone to the District 100 Market Like a Pro workshop today. Thank you so much for being here. Please place your questions in the chat box with a Q at the beginning of your question. Watch the chat for files and notes from the presenter. If any of you have any questions also about any of the content that is coming, please do email training@d100tm.org, and Lena can help you with any questions after this event today. With that, do you want greater response from your communication, marketing, and promotional efforts? And fresh ideas to revitalize your club and boost membership? Get ready to learn tried and proven tips to apply to your outreach online and in print, and discover simple ways to attract visitors and new members to your club. Marketing is a fundamental to the success of your club. In this workshop, you will learn the 3 stages of how readers read and what they need in your promotion. You'll identify your ideal markets and potential members, view samples of flyers and posters with before and after makeovers, and understand what design elements are best placed where in the layout and why. Backed by popular request, our Marketing Speechcraft Learning Lab on July 7th was such a big hit and loaded with value. Well, we asked for more. Today's presenter is a subject matter expert in the field and generously shares over 45 years of professional experience in marketing, plus nearly 4 decades of Toastmasters membership. Sheryl Roush has owned 5 graphic design studios, received 4 Toastmasters International Awards for newsletters, and has published 5 books on this topic. Her solid gold newsletter design illustrated book created for Toastmasters then became a course book at the University of Ottawa in Canada. Sheryl is also the author of the International Book Awards Best Anthology for Heart of a Toastmaster, showcasing 135 members globally sharing their true short stories. Sheryl is the youngest female of 95 in 148 countries to earn a Toastmasters accredited speaker designation for professional speaking. CEO of Sparkle Presentations, she was a sponsor for our Bahamas convention last year and our Anaheim convention last month. With how to promote your club to potential members in this Market Like a Pro workshop, let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Sheryl Roush.
Oh, yay! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to this very special workshop presented by District 100 in Southern California. I love it. So thank you for wherever you are joining from. I realize we already have South Africa here. We have New York. We have Maine. We have quite a presence, and some of our Canadians too, eh? All right, so let's see what we can do to market like a pro. Inside of the chat, be watching as our chat master extraordinaire, Lena, is loading up the handouts for you. There will be a total of 5, by the way. So here's what we're looking at for this workshop is I'll plan on sharing some ideas and before and after for you for about 60 to 70 minutes, and then we will go into additional Q&A. So if there are samples that you would like me to take a look at, have those ready on your desktop, and let's see what we can do. So let's jump in right away. If you would, start lighting up the chat. Marketing is what? If you would go ahead and start making note. All right, so marketing is what? How would you define marketing? Let's take a look here. Okay, thank you. Seattle's in the house. Good, good, good. All right, make sure to download that. All right, All right, marketing is what? Marketing is what? Let's light it up. Marketing is what? Thank you, inspiring. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. What else? What else? What is marketing? Advertising. Thank you. Telling the world about ourselves. Yes. Promoting and convincing others. Yes. Keep going. These are great. Marketing is what? I know you're downloading at the same time. Great. Thank you. All right, it's the process of getting people interested in your company's product or service through high quality messaging. Oh my gosh, if I had a prize, you would win it there. My goodness. All right, so visibility, thank you, thank you. The art of advertising, yes, thank you. Anything to do with promotion, right? Marketing is communication to the stakeholders and potential stakeholders. Yes, thank you. And let's see, for us, Toastmasters, yay, lead generation. Yes, it is all of those. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you are absolutely correct. All right. So keeping those in mind, here is how I define what marketing is for us as Toastmasters. And I love this information. I thank you that we have 90 minutes. Usually I speak all day on this. No, really, I do. I love this topic. All right. So I believe that marketing for us as Toastmasters is getting the word out that we are the solution to their problem. It could be a problem, a challenge, an issue. What is the desired outcome that they want? And we are still, unfortunately, one of the best kept secrets in the world. So think about why you originally joined Toastmasters. Pop that into the chat if you would. Why did you originally join Toastmasters? I joined to be a better boss. I met a woman at a Chamber of Commerce meeting, and you know, the self introductions. Oh my gosh, I was horrible. It was about 15 seconds of blubbering, tripping over my own tongue. It was terrible. I had trouble introducing myself. And she came over to me afterward and she said, oh, so what are your greatest challenges of being a business owner today? And I had 5 employees, of whom they were all older than myself. And my greatest challenge was being able to be respectful and still give them feedback in order to take care of our clients' needs. So that was my toughest challenge. And she said, you might be interested in this 8-week communication skills workshop that we have coming up. I go, oh, and then she said where it was, which is at a wonderful Mexican restaurant in historic Old Town San Diego, California. And she said, tell you what, I'll even buy you breakfast. I'm thinking, okay, now we're talking. And then she said 7 a.m. What? Well, I did show. I did. And the minute that I stepped through the door, greeted by 2 women professionally dressed at the door, and there was a fire crackling in the background, I knew I was in the right place. I had no idea how it would transform my life. So why did you join? Maybe somebody told you that you needed to join. Maybe it was for lead generation, or you joined to become a better you by being a better communicator, to learn to have better social interactions while being autistic. Yes. And in a calm, supportive environment, to be better understood. Tom, you're still working on that, right? Okay. All right. So to be a better me. All of these are so important. Did you have any idea how much being a member and really working this program would transform your life? I mean, here I am nearly 4 decades later, because what I walked into, and we'll talk about briefly in this workshop, I walked into an 8-week speechcraft program, and it was on March 19th, 1987. I'm still here. So we will take a look at what's the difference between an open house and a free seminar. How do we attract members, visitors into our club, into our special events, and how do we convert them into actually joining the Toastmaster experience as members? All right, so yay. Well, we have 2 markets that we need to consider, and it's going to be vital that we match a message here. So let's take a look. Feel free to write this on the front page of your handout, and then we'll be jumping into page 2 straight away on this. So we have 2 markets. Yep, because we're going to market like a pro. All right, group number 1 is our internal market. These are current members, and you'll see some examples of this in just a moment too. Group number 2 is the one that we are really going to be focusing on for this workshop, and that's external messaging outside of Toastmasters. We call those potential visitors or potential members. Yep, so those are our 2 main markets, and depending on which one that we are promoting to, our message needs to match. So here's the key core of how to market like a pro right there, is to match the message to that particular audience. I believe that we need to become them, maybe get into their head a little bit, become that avatar that we are trying to reach. And everything that goes into that marketing piece in that promotion needs to be specifically for that ideal. All right, so let's take a look at this one. And you'll see several samples throughout this presentation, and they're only used for educational purposes. So thank you for those who submitted them and who I researched and found. Anyway, all right. So when you're looking at this particular poster, it's a new club launch event. Who is it for? Okay, it's for the club. So the club is promoting themselves. Maybe they're just happy that they are promoting their own club. I don't, this could go either way by changing the messaging for it. And we're going to explore exactly how do you do that? How do you make things more effective than just a simple poster? Because that's still real estate. We're going to explore what goes where and why. Again, if it's internal, then great. If you are promoting inside of District 100 and you have a new club launch and you're very excited about it, great. So the message could be something like maybe join us as we welcome our newest club to District 100. That's an internal message. However, if it's going external, we need to change it up. So here's another example. This is a great example from District 100 regarding the 7 skills that club coaches get. So this is for current members in-house. All right, so there's one thing, and I'm lovingly giving feedback. That's what I'm getting paid to do today. Yeah, no. All right, so then let's take the number 7 out of the headline and replace those bullet points with numbers. In our mind, things need to line up. They need to make sense, and there can't be any confusion. So if there's 7 skills, go ahead and number them. That's probably the only thing that I would change on this particular internal message. Now let's go outside, because now we're looking for potential members. So here's another example. And this is Mississauga out of Canada. I want to say it's District 60. Either District 60 or 86. I believe it's District 60, Mississauga, Canada, outside of Toronto, Ontario. So here's an example going outside of Toastmasters, which is great. All right, so now we have that this speaker is presented to give, it looks like some type of like workshop. Yes, workshop, because that's in the long the long URL right there, is about how to speak on the spot. So, and by the way, just by adding how to for a subtitle or in a subheadline will dramatically increase the rate of response. How to implies that it's relevant to them. So you might want to write that down someplace. Okay, we're just going to give you all kinds of tips there. So there you go. All right, so then I would want to know, if I'm looking at this, I would want to know, why is Steve Elliott an expert on this? I don't know. Maybe he won a contest. I don't know. Maybe he does something professionally that this is going to be important. I would also move the long web link down to the bottom, because people are really going to be looking for, am I available and does this relate to me? But this is a good example for us to start learning from. And here we have Humor Masters, which I believe, yep, right there in Anaheim. So this is District 100 club member. All right, so here we have humor can increase your confidence, engage your audience. Well, that's great as an external message. Then it immediately has a call to action. Whoops, because we're going to put the call to action lower into the layout. There are 3 stages that we have to communicate with our readers, and they must be in that order. All right, so it's important for us, though, to engage with humor. especially the more serious a topic, by the way, then the more that we do need to sprinkle humor into it. So then it indicates what Humor Masters is. This poster has done well with the TI branding, which we will also cover, because each of us are ambassadors for the organization, and we need to abide by what that look is. All right, so then they also have, in addition to the logo up in the top left, which we're going to take a look at where does that get moved to, then they also have the happy and sad regarding the drama, which is fine. That is an image being used, not a club logo. We are going to talk about that today. All right, so here's what I would do with this one, though, is that the most important thing on here is the smallest thing on here. The question underlined, do you have a speech or a comedy routine to share with us? Question mark. I would put that into a headline because then it's going to grab people. So good use of the branding. So you might be thinking, well, why is all of this really important? Well, let's take a look at our clubs right now, not only in District 100, but also around the globe, because these numbers are consistent. So let's begin first with the why we would want to boost our membership inside our regular club meetings. And think about how your club is currently doing. How many do you have on the roster? And how many are regularly attending? So here's our basic meeting math. Here's our bottom line. We have 15 meeting roles, and that's with 3 speakers during a regular meeting without overlap. That would be where the speaker isn't also a counter, doesn't also evaluate their own presentation. Then we have 1 Zoom master, whether it's going to be hybrid or virtual. You with me? Yep. So that's 16 people present at a meeting. Oh, plus we want table topics participants who are not also elsewhere on the agenda. All right, so now we have more people. Plus you do want to have 2 guests per meeting, yes, and we want additional audience members because then there's more energy. That's 20 to 25 people at your meeting. All right, write that down. There's a goal. And you know how much more fun it is when more people are attending. So what is considered a healthy membership? Well, 20 is the magic number from Toastmasters International. That's why it is called charter strength. In order for us to maintain a healthy charter for our clubs, 20 needs to be on the roster. Well, this is why you're probably attending this particular workshop, is to see how you can boost membership and get not only to the magic number of 20, but think bigger. I remember when I joined, and over the course of 30 plus decades, that at one point my club had 68 members and we would have 45 attend. We needed to change locations. And you're thinking, oh, it's not. Yes, it is. And as a result of having so many members, which is a positive problem, then we launched 2 more clubs, sharing the Toastmaster experience and the benefits. So think at least 20. 25 is suggested for corporate programs, and those are the employee programs hosted inside of corporations. And there's a handbook on that by past international president Pat Johnson. She wrote the book on exactly, because the languaging is different for corporate programs. They're not called clubs, which could be deemed to be social, and they are not. They are training programs. So the more members is more creativity, more energy, more engagement, more feedback. Think about, again, why you originally joined Toastmasters. Probably to gain confidence was the number 1 answer. And number 2 is to practice in front of other people in order to gain that confidence. So we do need to share the benefits with other people. Let's take a quick look at District 100 as of September 17th, that of 1,183 members, 79 clubs, and here's the breakdown of 37 online, 28 hybrid, meaning combined, 14 in-person clubs. All right, so what does that mean if I did some simple math, which I did? Then that means the 79 clubs divided by the members is an average of 14 members per club. So when Angel and I worked on this for the July 7th program specific to the Learning Lab on Speechcraft, it was 13 to 15 members per club. That's not bad. However, what's our number? 20. Yeah, exactly. All right. So then how can we help invigorate? Our new international president, Roddy Spear, announced at the International Convention in Anaheim, right down the street from you, To be the spark and to pledge to bring a guest, that it is the bring at least one guest with you, the Centennial Pledge. This is our 100th year, to a meeting before December 31st. So in the chat box, there is the link where you can go on and that you can make your commitment. I hope you have, as I have, to bring at least one guest with you to a club meeting. Remember the meeting math. We want at least 2 guests per meeting. Well, each one, ask one. And don't think that somebody else is going to do it. ASK equals GET. Here is the link for you as well. Just go into Toastmasters.org and look for the Centennial Pledge. That's what I did. And I also received an email. All right, get ready to flip over to page 2, because we are looking at what is the core of marketing communication. This is the basis of all of the success in any type of promotion that we do. So get ready. Get ready. All right, here's another example that leads us into that. So for instance, this is an example out of District 119 at New York. And notice that they have a logo in the upper left-hand corner. We are not allowed to have club logos. We'll take a closer look at that. This was for the advanced public speakers Toastmasters. So here's what I did. After I show you this and the next information, you will never look at a piece ever the same way again, which means you'll never design a piece ever the same way again either. I love this. All right, let's break it down. So what doesn't work on this? Club logo straight away. So instead, we want to put the Toastmaster logo up there. Already, it's getting better. So then I've exploded what that small text was. So here we take the small text in the middle. Now we can actually read it. So then let's see how many times that this poster talks about them instead of us as a potential attendee. All right, so there's one. Ready? Count the red. There's one. So at the club name, we, there's 2. Take pride in our, there's 3. That help our members develop, speak in any situation. We are passionate about helping others to accomplish their speaking goals. Join us to see how we can help you level up. Wow. We need to go into the green of what's for them, helping others and what they can do and help you. In marketing, it's referred to as to be reader-centered. It's not about us, it's about them. Every time that it's about us, that reader is looking for something else to look at that is more relevant to them. So let's take a closer look. In this first area, we'll identify who the 3 types of readers are. And this is from the US. It is from the American Library Association. So for those of our friends and family attending from other countries, this is specific to America, but you'll get the idea of where we're going with the 3 different types of percentages. We have non-readers, avid readers, and skimmer readers are the 3 main groups. The first group accounts for 10 to 15% are non-readers, which may be, I believe, because English may not be the first understood, fluent, read, spoken language. So then for our non-readers, then we need to be more visual with that. I fall into this category when I'm opening things that come in the mail and I hold it up to the light and go, nope, nope, nope. I'm looking for, is there something that's important to me in it? I become a non-reader. It's like, nope, I can't read this. And I stack it in a pile to be recycled. Boy, for 45 years, I've designed that stuff. 10 to 15%, the second percentage now, matches the first, but it's the opposite of. Because the avid readers read everything they can get their hands on. They want the details, the facts, the statistics. When it comes to a layout, a poster or a flyer, whatever that it might be, they prefer the more conservative layouts because they want the stuff, not necessarily the fluff. Right? Yeah, raise your hand if this is you. Are you an avid reader? Yep, you're an avid reader. You read everything. I bet you're a really good proofreader too, huh? Yeah, that's one of your superpowers, right? So avid readers read everything. They do take longer to make a decision because if we've missed anything, they may contact us and ask us for those details. That's a good thing. They're helping us do our job. So avid readers, when it's important to them. Now, the majority, if you're doing the math here, 70 to 80% of us are skimmers. we kind of scan and browse through the layout. We appreciate really good graphic design. We love the photos, the color. We love progressive layouts. You know, we love these videos and these reels that are coming up where the poster is now. We love that. Perhaps you saw those for this particular workshop. We love that. And if it's on a piece of paper, we love paper that feels good. That's us. Yeah, raise your hand if you're like me. We're skimmers. We're skimmers. Give us bullet points. Give us photos. Absolutely. So yes, we want things that look good. So when we're scanning, when something relates to us, we convert into becoming avid readers and we will read everything else. Here's our task as the designer of promotions is that we blend, we make sure to accommodate all three of these types of readers. All right, so you might be thinking, well, how do you do that? Thank you for asking. So let's take a look at the three stages of how people read. In over 3,500 presentations around the globe, on site, in person, 14 countries, most of those 8 hours of live interactive workshops, here's what I have found to be true with very little cultural difference. So I bring this to you as something that I have found to be tried and proven. And the research comes from David Ogilvy, an American who wrote the book Confessions of an Advertising Man. The three stages must occur in this order for the piece to be effective. So let's take a look at them. It's really important. Number one, stage one is relevance. So the question that the reader's asking as they're looking at our particular piece is, well, should I read it, file it, toss it, click out, click away? It answers the question of WIIFM, which stands for, yep, what's in it for me? The time available is very brief. It is 1 to 7 seconds. It's that fast. And sometimes even on a website or an email, if the subject line doesn't relate, it's less than 2.3 seconds that either we delete it, we archive it, we click to another page inside of that website. It's that fast. Now you're going to start actually timing yourself and how long did things take you to either align with it or move on from it. All right, so stage one is relevance. We're looking for what's in it for me. If it's not, we're gone. Stage two, based on how well we've met stage one, is now confirmation. So now the question that the reader is asking as they browse your promotion is, was I right? Does it relate to me? They want to prove themselves correct, by the way. They're looking for, was I right? Was I right? Does it relate to me? The time available here is longer. It's up to 90 seconds. So now a minute and a half, thanks to those avid readers, they'll go back and they'll reread and see if they missed anything, or if we did, they are looking to confirm that, yes, this is correct for them. That's stage two, must happen in this order. Stage one, relevance. Stage two, confirmation. Stage three is action. So now the question that the reader's asking, you and I do the same thing. We're looking for, okay, all right, I'll bite the bait on this. All right, the action stage or the call to action. The question that the reader is asking, like we do, is, okay, what do I do now? What do I do next? And it has to be straightforward. Don't make them guess. Don't make them work for where's the link? How do I scan that QR code if I don't have one of them, their smartphones? You know, again, who's your audience? We need to match the message to it. So the time available in stage three is longer. It's as long as needed, as long as needed, based on our three reading types. Now, what does that look like in a page layout? Where do those design elements get placed for maximum effectiveness? Again, you'll never look at a piece ever the same way again. You'll never design a promotion ever the same way again, because now you know, you know. All right, stage one is relevance. It is at the very top portion of the layout, whether it's vertical or landscape. It is a very small area up at the top, and it'll also show you what my top grabbers are for grabbing people's attention as a pattern interrupt. Stage 2, confirmation, is more throughout the layout. This could be the longer body copy for the avid readers, and the bullet points for the skimmer readers, have some photos in there for the non-readers, and the call to action, which could be a click over to the website or the QR code or whatever it is that you want people to do as a result of reading your particular piece. What do you want them to think, do, be, take action on? In the landscape or horizontal type of poster layout, then the same stages relate into the layout. Good stuff, huh? Yes, yes, yes. We could stop the program right there, Angel. I tell you, you know, if this is all we covered in this workshop, that is solid gold. Feel free to capture a screenshot. Go ahead, take a screenshot. Yep, I hear you clicking. There you go. And then consider printing this out and have a copy of it right there by wherever your computer is, and thinking things through. So now I'm going to give you some more details on this, like what exactly creates relevance. Well, here's an example from District 119 out of New York. To illustrate my point here. All right, this is a standard type of poster that was created. They asked me to present information on this, and this is one of their examples. So you are invited. Okay, you are invited. That's good. It's about me, to a special Toastmaster event. Okay, I don't know what Toastmasters is. This is an external promotion. Strength and soft skills. Okay, what are those? Question, are you ready for that next opportunity? Develop your soft skills to succeed. Okay, then it has some boxes. It looks like I'm supposed to agree with those. Okay, and then join us for 90 minutes. Okay, so here's a simple makeover. By taking those questions from almost, well, they are in the confirmation area, and instead putting it up in the relevance area, it now grabs attention. And making those tick boxes pop a little bit more, this also taps into the relevance factor and confirmation, helping the reader establish, yes, this relates to you. And then the rest of the body copy. So all I did was tweak it just a little bit. By doing that alone, it would enhance the response that this event would have had. Here's an example of a flyer that I designed for District 5 in San Diego, so just south of Los Angeles, promoting, it's a district coaches session for members. So what does this look like? Up at the top, here's the best suggestion I have as a pattern interrupt, as well as a grabber to capture people's attention and to create the relevance factor. Start off with questions. My favorite is 1 or 3 questions. You could do 2. My favorite, I just find that working with odd numbers seems to be more effective. So ask questions in the headline, which, here's the big key point, name the pain, issue, or challenge that they have, or the desired outcome they want. I don't know if I can repeat that. Okay, so name in the headline, name the pain, the challenge, the issue, or the desired outcome that they want. It's going to grab their attention. So for instance, this is similar to this exact same workshop that we're doing today. Are your promotional efforts producing results? If they go, no, or could be better, bingo, they'll go right into tell me more. These are the skimmers, go right to the bullet points and go right into the call to action, and that they will register on that short URL. Want a greater response from your marketing? Yes. And fresh ideas to boost your marketing? Yes. So now those are 3 key questions. Feel free to capture a screenshot. I'll pull up the rest of the information here as we take a look at what goes where. All right. So now the how to, that was our very first golden nugget from this session, is how to, as a headline or a subheadline, taps into the relevance, because it means how you will be able to do whatever that it is. The what's in it for me, learned what do I get? Tried and proven tips to do what? To apply to your outreach online and in print. Oh, then what else do I get? Discover simple ways to attract. Aha, ensure your promotions align with Toastmasters. Okay, and then the bullet points are a form of confirmation. So then if I had placed a number into that headline, let's say 5, right? 5. So in this insightful educational session, you will something 5 something, then I could number these instead of bullet points. Either one is going to be effective. Then lower in the layout, then it has the information regarding it. The call to action is that URL, and then it has more information about the speaker. So here's a sample also from District 5 in San Diego, where, and I was looking at this, it was an external marketing piece that they had. And even though they have the branding working for them, may not be quite as effective. And let me draw your attention to the photo in the bottom right-hand corner. As an example of the woman with the ponytail, the hair pulled back, that her arm is reaching down, that's called implied motion. There are several ways in which you and I can guide a reader or viewer's eyes to where we want them to go. In this particular case, because the angle of her arm and shoulder going down, our eye, if you pull back from the screen and you look at this is a great design tip. Pull back and see what are the biggest elements on here. Probably the big Toastmaster globe. Then you go to the photo in the bottom right-hand corner, and the angle is taking you off the page down and to the right. Meanwhile, they haven't read anything over on the left. Implied motion guides our eye. So we want to be very mindful of that. Now, stay tuned. Here's a makeover, not adding, let's see, I think I only changed one question. So when they're talking about build a better you, instead of a statement command, I changed it into a question as a single grabber headline question, naming the pain or the desired outcome. Are you ready to build a better you? Now is a word that creates a sense of urgency. So it's a time-related action word. Now is the time. Aha. And then tick marks for each of those bullet points. And now I cropped the photo, taking out that downward angle, and then enlarged it, pulled it up to the upper right-hand corner, which now you're looking at the eyes from two people, bringing us back into the layout. We will look at whatever they are looking at. Instead of the globe, then I replaced it with our Toastmasters word mark into the bottom right-hand corner. So remember going back to the layout of what goes where and why. Relevance in the upper area, confirmation throughout, and in the lower section, and specifically lower right, is going to be the call to action. That's a simple makeover. Usually when I look at things, they're not, oh my gosh, this is horrible. This is a tweak. So here's another example, District 45, and Tom, it's great that you are here. So with this particular promotion, here's what I like about it. It's external. Feeling nervous about giving a presentation, question mark with a cute little emoticon there. You're not alone. Oh, good. So one word that we could change there is our, and instead of join our free online webinar, it could be join this. So then it again, you're still thinking about me. To calm your jitters, this is great. Gain the confidence, great. So there's benefits there. What does the layout look like? All right. So then if we were to tweak this, I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Take a look at this based on what you've learned so far. This is a workshop. Think about what you would move to a different area. Okay. The photo is great, by the way. All right, so let's take that headline and really move it up to the very top, because the free online webinar event is what it is, and yet we have not established true relevance with them yet. Again, it's a pyramid of priority. The most important things need to go to the top to create that relevance, or all the rest of the ad has very little chance of being read and being pertinent. So we really have to be careful with that. All right. So are you nervous to present, or speak in public? Either one of those. So that would come up. Learn tools also raises up. Then the free online webinar event would go third in this particular layout. If you look really closely, the time and time zones, the very smallest things up there in the upper right-hand corner, that's a stage 1 area with a stage 2 or stage 3 element. Just pull it down, put it with the date and the call to action, find all the webinar details, including the Zoom link and there's the link. That's a simple tweak. The only thing I might add to this is what day of the week September 26th is, because people are thinking, okay, what day is that? And then what happens is we have to like look at the calendar across the room. Those are minor tweaks. So I'm thrilled that we could use this example. All right, so then what is your event and who is it for? In the next page inside of the layout, let's take a closer look. And this is a worksheet. The next couple of pages are worksheets for you. And then we'll take a closer look at more samples. So feel free to use this and actually print out a copy for anything that you or any of the members in your club are getting ready to promote. And just go through this and what type of event is it? You can just go right through the worksheet there. And what is it going to be? If it's a public event, remember that you need to match the message to that particular audience. All right, so then one of the key points that I love this by Stephen Covey, who is not only the author of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he is also one of our Golden Gavel Award recipients from Toastmasters International, which is the highest communication award that we present to a non-member. Here's how it relates to us. Begin with the end in mind. As you are planning your particular event, become your reader, become that particular person, and begin with the end in mind of what exactly do you want them to do. Based on the call to action is enroll for, or attend, or whatever that is, because you can transfer this into your own products, your services, being a coach, being a speaker, whatever that call to action is, something today, call today, create that sense of urgency. So begin with the end in mind. What do you want them to do? Do the same thing with the speech, by the way. Begin with the end in mind. That's a whole nother program. That's a Speak Like a Pro, where you start crafting a presentation with what is the call to action at the end of the presentation, and you actually build backward and then you circle back. That's another thing. You can see that program on my YouTube channel. So there you go. So begin with the end in mind. What do you want them to do as a result of your particular piece? All right, so then you need to match the message to that audience. If it's a public event, remember that the message is going to be different than if it's an internal message to your current members. And then identify the market, going down the left-hand column here of this worksheet. Who is your ideal audience or attendee? Are they a potential member? Are they a current member? Again, internal or external? Who precisely do you want to attract? And then go through this worksheet. The key to your success is going to be how focused that you are, how detailed and specific that you do this activity for, because then you're matching that message to that particular person. Number 2 on this list, what are their pains or their needs? What are their fears? Speaking in public is still the number 1 fear. My goodness. And it could even be speaking on Zoom. All right, so then the next question then is, what are the benefits to them? Why would they want to attend? And then you start building the rest of your event. Everything, though, is begin with the end in mind and match the message. So let's take a look at some of these ideas. And feel free to add to this list in the chat box. So identify the needs, the problems, the challenges, or the desired outcome. Feel free to capture a screenshot. This is a list that off the top of my head that I created, but again, why did you join Toastmasters? Mine is on the list, providing effective feedback to my staff. So what are those critical thinking skills? Why did you join? Going back to that, match the message. I'm looking in the chat to see what you might be adding to this list. What can you add to this list? Come on, talk to me here. What can you add to this list? Share it with us so that we can add it to our list. Oh, thank you. All right. So teaching autistic people social skills for life. Great. Thank you. So social skills in general needs to be added to this list. Well, we have active listening, but there's more to that. So thank you very much. Okay, how about having difficult conversations? Oh my goodness. Yes. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay. What else? Oh, what about eulogies? I know we lost world champion accredited speaker Dana Lamont last month, and his celebration of life services were just on Saturday. And I was asked by Dana before he passed to provide a message at his services. I think eulogies are one of the toughest things that we will ever have the privilege of being asked to provide. So people want to be corporate MCs, yes. So presenting in formal occasions. Oh my gosh, what about presenting awards? Oh boy, people need to learn how to do that too. So thank you, presenting in formal events and occasions. How to communicate a message to people with differing views, yes. And how to be respectful in doing such, yes. Thank you. Making others better, yes. And it could be nurturing what their skills are. What about even acknowledging people? You know, it's showing appreciation. All right, so keep adding to this list. And why I suggest making this list is because then it will help you with your promotions. And specifically when you are having an event, who is the group that you seek to invite and what are their needs? So over onto page 4 is another worksheet for you. Feel free to photocopy this and use them as an event promotion checklist. It's really quite thorough. The focus on this is what information is important to them, for them. And again, focus everything for them. All right, so Linda Stewart, thank you from District 57, which is Northern California. So thank you very much for submitting your sample on this. All right, so Linda, I'm going to ask you to unmute. So Zoom Master, if we could support Linda to unmute. And I would love to hear from you, Linda, based on what you have learned so far. What might you change in this layout? All right, so Linda?
Well, I would move the theme up to the top, which is international travel.
Okay. So what's important for me? Why is that important? This is an external message. Why would I be interested in international travel? Talk this through.
Well, we're in the Bay Area and we have people from all over, and I probably should have included what countries they were talking about. We originally had 3 speakers, so I had to, change it a little bit. But I think that for the Bay Area, we have a lot of international people.
You do? Okay. So then what are the credentials for the speakers?
I should have put that. One is a DTM, and the one
that's our credential. Non-members don't care.
Yeah. So I don't know. The one on the left, Helen, had worked with in San Francisco, and she did aging. She was an attorney and she did things for aging. So she could talk about travel from an international and being older.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so now it's becoming relevant to me. Now it's becoming relevant. Okay, so then people don't care about the meeting theme, and they're not. They don't honestly until it relates to us. So what about a question up at the top? Because right now that is a stage 3 item and a stage 1 placement. The visitors are invited to an online open house. All right, so Linda, so that could be something else. What would be a great question up there? And tell me about David. So what's David's credibility on this topic?
He was in the military, so he traveled for the military a lot.
So how many years and in which branch?
He was in the Army and he was in, I believe, for 25 years.
Okay, so now we're going to add first and last names to these people and credibility. Remove the big white box because there's a lot of boxes going on here, and boxes have a tendency to trap the eye. We're going to put, and we're going to remove open house from it. What if you called it a free seminar, a free event, a free workshop? That's going to grab more attention than an open house, because then people think, oh, it's going to be cookies and we're talking about travel, but I still go through those stages, and what you're describing, I'd be interested. Now it becomes relevant to me. All right, so then change it to a headline, something, something, and then the Toastmaster logo could be moved to the bottom, because again, people don't know or care about our organization until whatever the topic is that's relevant to them. So find out more. You have the Zoom link, all of that is absolutely okay with that. Give me more details on the speakers, the topics, the credibility, have the call to action at the bottom. And now I'm there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, well, and thank you for allowing us to use yours as an example, because we all learned from you. Thank you very much, Linda. I love it. Okay, thank you. All right, so let's see again, important to them. Important to them. Great. All right. So next in the chat box is a special supplement handout that I created for you regarding resources that you have available to you. All right. With that, then that brings us into Toastmasters branding. So let's take a look at, because as I said in our very first opening, each of us are ambassadors for the organization. We need to protect the brand. And as I spoke recently for District 129, 9 nations in Southern Africa, which you might be familiar with South Africa, because Verity Price, who is our newest accredited speaker and world champion, so world champion of public speaking, is from District 74 in South Africa. And District 129 refers to branding as be brand right. RIGHT, and I thought that was absolutely brilliant. So we want to be brand right. And you might be wondering, well, why is this important? Because if we are advertising, if we're doing promotion for our events, our clubs, our organization, we all need to have the same look so that we don't confuse our readers. And I'll give you an example of this, because it was probably about 20, 25 years ago, Coca-Cola tried to change from their brand red into a blue. And it was interesting because the public did not buy the blue cans of Coca-Cola soda pop. Interesting. It was a huge fail at a huge financial loss. So again, what's the representation? These, although very clever, you might even recognize a couple of the logos on here. Very clever. However, we cannot be using logos for our clubs or districts which do not align with our brand right. So let's take a closer look at that. And here's the policy. And I'm mentioning this so that we all stay in compliance, because when one of our clubs wins, we all win. What are the logos that we can be using? Our Toastmaster logo. When you are presenting a Speechcraft series, then you can use the globe with the word Speechcraft underneath it. And this year with our Centennial, you can be using our sparkling Centennial logos. What happens if I remove the logo from my materials, can I use different colors, fonts, or elements? The answer is still no, because we have guidelines for colors. All right, so here's a little bit more about logos. So again, you can use the word marks. You can use our since 1924. You can put your club name underneath the globe. The samples on the right, you'd be surprised what I see as I am browsing through Facebook. I've been a brand ambassador since 2010 when our brand was refreshed. So I've been around a long time. So instead, you could have the beautiful globe and have your club name under it, and then you'd be okay. Just don't be adding more things to it. We also have our branding colors. So our primary colors are the true maroon, loyal blue, and cool gray, plus the happy yellow. And let me give you some color psychology on this. I'm a student of this. I absolutely love this. Cool gray, like the loyal blue, are more calming, are more calming. You would use the brighter colors when you really want to engage action. So our true maroon with happy yellow that pops, perhaps the happy yellow for the bold italic headline that grabs people's attention is going to be a really great combination right there. Well, we also have black is our new color that we can add to this, and specifically because of our centennial, where we are celebrating 100 years and we went into the black and the gold, and it was absolutely beautiful. So black is our newest color that we can add to our palette. All right, so Humor Masters, so let's take a look at this because it has none of our branding. No Toastmaster logo, only in their Facebook post for the name of the club. And again, so as we discuss, funny, blah, 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 online only, right? Okay, so this could be tweaked. This could be tweaked just a little bit to be brand compliant. So here I'm asked often, well, what do you use to design your posters? Use whatever it is that you feel comfortable with, but make sure that you have the brand colors and fonts and the logos inside of that program. Canva is quite easy. And in the chat box, let's see, Lena, you have probably uploaded that for me, is the TI Canva brand worksheet. We also have our specific fonts that we can use on this. So fonts are my friends. They each have their own personality. So Corinthia, I love it because it looks like handwriting. And you've actually been seeing this several times in the slides for this workshop. The luxurious script I would use as more for formality, maybe a club anniversary. So Humor Masters could have used the Corinthia for, travel from far away. All right, so use whatever it is that you have. Here's the Canva template that is in the chat box. Thank you. And all of those are hot links that you can actually go into and use. And a lot of the branding is already in that. So if something is off, you know that you need to correct it. So Canva is one of the online platforms that you can use, the free version, or you can upgrade to the other ones. I have fun designing in PowerPoint, where I can do anything that I need to do for a poster in PowerPoint and save it as a JPEG or save it as a PDF, trim it up, and then save it as a JPEG or a PNG. And they look beautiful. For me, PowerPoint has all of my correct colors, the fonts, the logos. Use whatever it is that you have, and then mindfully determine what gets placed where and why. So that's what you want to use. All right. So from District 101, I'll be presenting virtually for them tomorrow. That this was submitted by a woman who this is her very first flyer ever. Bless her heart. She sent it in. All right. So no, it doesn't. Okay. It has a logo. And that's it as far as proper branding. So this is going to be quite an education, again, for how do you bring something into compliance? Well, just change the fonts. I would start with the colors. So if you're changing something, and this would be a great idea, is to go back into the posters that you had previously created and say that you're working in Canva. Then you can duplicate that file and then tweak it with the proper colors, the branding colors, have your logo in there, and you could create your own templates of question goes here, bold italics, and then you could have some bullet points in the middle, and then your call to action with your logo. Think external message, that then the Toastmaster logo goes in the bottom left or bottom right or even bottom center, someplace along the bottom instead of up at the top. And then make sure that you have your branding fonts. Go back in to those pieces that you've already designed. Why not start easy? Tweak them. And it could be that you have a template for internally your weekly meetings or your club meetings, that then it's easy. Everyone has that same one, and anybody can keep updating those as a basic template. So it really isn't that difficult. And you can start today, especially inspired by the ideas that you're capturing. All right, so I get a lot of questions on this. What's the difference between an open house and a free seminar? All right, so for us as Toastmasters, whenever we use open house as the type of event, it's often, at least here in the US, it is likened to a real estate property being an open house for potential buyers that come in, and cookies are served with cinnamon in the background, or freshly baked cookies and bright yellow flowers. That's an open house. We do more than that. We are an educational organization. We bring transformation to people's lives. Open house is a simple term that was created probably about 15, 20 years ago. So I offer for you a different mindset, and that would be a free seminar, a free workshop, because people are looking for relevance. How does what you're offering benefit my life? Let's take a closer look. All right, for District 99 out of Canada. So Sundowners Toastmasters Club had an open house. Build a Better You. We did a full campaign on that. Nothing wrong with that. However, this could have had a question up at the top. And whenever you can, have your people in the photos. Now notice that the first photo on the far left is the new banner. That's what we need to have in our photos. The older banners, the one with the cross gavels in there, those banners can only be displayed for historic events. So be real careful having any photos taken with those, and instead use and abide by the new branding for that. So again, open house. The most important part on this is that I can learn how Toastmasters can help me, implied, to improve my public speaking and build leadership skills. That's the most important thing on here, yet it's the smallest thing on here. Here's another example for an open house, by the way. So remember implied motion? The speaker in the photo is looking where? Off the page. That means that your eye is going there, and chances are reduced that you would read the actual text that's also in there. Join us and learn. We can get rid of us in there. You will learn how, and then Toastmasters is always a capital T. So maybe some bullet points in there and really emphasizing what the benefits are. The guest speaker, this is great. Special guest speaker, this is good. So I want to know what this expert is going to be speaking on. So she's a Toastmaster public speaking champion. So what? Professor of communication might be important. Give me more. I have not yet established relevance enough to block out my time to attend. I'm just saying out loud what our thinking process is. All right, so let's go outside of that then. What if we had a special event as our flyer? Again, you're seeing this. Again, even more ideas. So questions, bold italics up at the top, naming the pain, grabber, free seminar, aha, when, aha, where, okay, tell me more. Then you have the public speaking and training tips that you can use immediately. Great. Who's it for? Aha, this was hosted at a hospital by my Toastmaster Club in San Diego. Who is it for? It's ideal for any level of management, administration, patient care, and in any industry or field. Then bring your friends, supervisors, and coworkers to this program. It was a free seminar, an hour and a half, where then not only did I provide as the guest speaker my top public speaking tips for building confidence and designing slides and handouts and how to communicate with all 7 of our types of listeners in any audience, bringing that together. And then it has a photo. Okay, what's the credibility? Great, really small print. And then the call to action down at the bottom. So we did this to launch a Speechcraft program that would be held in person 2 weeks later. All right, so taking a look at this, here's some more details on that event, using that event checklist, by the way. So the club provided the snacks. We promoted it inside the building. We had many of our club members were, again, employees of that hospital. And so they walked around and they personally invited people, hey, free seminar, we're going to have food. Come on after you get off your shift. Here's the outcome. We only had 10 club members at that time. There were 65 guests, non-members. That doesn't mean Toastmasters from other clubs. We're talking 65 non-members, potential members. 14 enrolled that night after the program. We had everything ready for them to pay and enroll into Speechcraft. And because those excited Speechcrafters went back to their coworkers, 4 or 5 enrolled at the series start. So the club results, we gained 12 to 14 new members as a result of starting with a free seminar, not an open house, not a demonstration meeting. They're similar but different, but having a free seminar of value, having skills that they gained and learned in that session, plus a call to action for them to take the next step, enrolled 12 to 14 from that program from Speechcraft. And one member whose final project was to host a Speechcraft finally earned his Distinguished Toastmaster. Amazing. So then when you're hosting a Speechcraft program or when you are having these free events, you could have the speakers tap into our Better Speaker Series set, which come preloaded with all of these topics, each of these topics in TI item number 269. You can download it as a zip, and this is free. These programs, all in this one zip download file, has each of these topics, which are ideal for 10 to 15 minute educational sessions, or even longer as workshops. They come preloaded with the slide deck and the facilitator's guide so that you know exactly what it is that you're doing. Amazing, and it's free. You could use that. If you don't know what type of program to host for your free event, what if you took 2 of these topics, had 2 different speakers, and then set it up where you invite to your next regular club meeting and have the experience of practicing and gaining confidence. Let them know what's in it for them. Which brings us then to Speechcraft. And give you a few tips on how to boost your membership using Speechcraft. And we already videotaped this, so we have a video and handouts that we did the Learning Lab back on July 7th. So it is recorded. It's on the District 100. It's in your website, in your archive. And thank you very much, Lena, for posting that into the chat. So the video and the handouts, everything is posted there. This is what, so when you're opening up into the District 100 site, then you can see that that's what the image looks like. And that wasn't that 90 minutes? I think that it may have been a full 90 minutes on Speechcraft alone. So, and if you have trouble locating the handouts, they are over at my website, posted under District 100 for the blog. So again, this is what we did. At the end of my free seminar portion, and I've been planting seeds about the benefits of Toastmasters throughout that free seminar, my club members, yes, all 9 of them, plus I'm still at the front of the room conducting this, that they stood up and they handed out this nice flyer in TI branding on paper that feels good. It goes through, it has everything that I'm sharing with you, that these are tried and proven techniques of what goes where and why. This is the flyer that helped people to enroll. We did a 6-week, and we called it a communication skills training series. Speechcraft is a trademarked product of Toastmasters International. This is the proper use of the word. So it's capital S, all one word, lowercase for the rest of it, or in all capital letters across. Go ahead and capture a screenshot of this. This is the exact flyer that we used to enroll all of those guests who then, so over 65, I believe that we printed 100 of those flyers and that they were distributed to everyone in the room. And then people also took them and posted them around, again, external as a message, matching the message to who it's going to. There you go. So what if you did a Speechcraft program and if you want to boost membership in your club, host the Speechcraft program as a 4, 6, or 8-week series during your regular club meetings. Your members get to be the guides or mentors for those potential members who are joining. And how you set up the fee or the tuition for it is because the digital bundle costs $50 that the club treasury pays for, and a club, because the Speechcraft must be hosted by a club, and a person in the club receives credit toward their distinguished Toastmaster for serving as Speechcraft coordinator. Then you can have 4, 6, or 8 weeks, all of that. And you want to either order it before October 6th, but do not put a start date on it, nor the Speechcraft coordinator, because we are going to have a base camp. Thank you very much, Lena and Angel, for posting that, because TI is going to be offline, anything base camp related, which Speechcraft relates to, from October 9th to the 25th. So you might want to either order and download anything that you need prior to October 6th, or wait until it has officially been reposted, that everything is live again. So you could, for your Speechcraft, either host it inside of your club to build membership in your club, which is what we did. We went from dying to president status in 6 months. That's what my little club did by hosting a Speechcraft. You could have a Speechcraft program dedicated to, let's say, as this example from District 112, that you could create it for entrepreneurs, small business owners, and have a 4, 6, or 8-week series Speechcraft outside of your club meetings, tailored for those attendees. So you can do that. You can also host a Speechcraft for a nonprofit organization, and either at cost, because it would be $10 per person for each of the 5, and you may host it for more people. And if so, 8 people have 2 coordinators from the same club or a secondary club. Again, it's $50 for the digital bundle, which includes materials for 5. It is interactive, and you do need club member support to help produce such an event. So my point here is that, again, match the message. You could even tailor your series to who's going to be the attendees. All right, whew, catch your breath. All right, ready for more? Yeah. Let's take a look at some of these designs. All right, let's have some fun. And again, these are for educational purposes. All right, thank you, Lena. So yay, let's applaud Lena. Lena had some fun designing things. And here's one of the tips that I share is do more than one design. Do something that might be conservative. Do something that's a little bit more progressive. Play with the design. Stay within the branding. So everything here goes with the branding. I think you used Canva for these, and have some fun with them. And then you can get input from other people. Again, she did 4 designs for today's workshop. And yes, I often match my slides and my programs. Yes. So have some fun with that. These were set up with animations on them. So have fun with them. There you go. I love it. Hey, really well done, Lena. You had some fun with that. All right. Also from District 100, a new club. So here we go. Voices of the World. All right. So then again, we're going to make it reader centered. So instead of our club, it's all about them. And I would have a question up in the headline. Something, each of our clubs has a personality. Why not bring that to light and capitalize on it and put that into the headline? So District 100 was getting ready to launch CTRL, Control Speak, as a club. This was the poster that I saw posted on Facebook, and I go, oh, we could have some fun with that. All right, so get ready to watch the makeover. 4 photos in my eye is too busy. I'm not sure what to look at. So I went from 4 photos into 2. And then the most important part for me, if I am in this audience, is helping tech enthusiasts and professionals. I might be one of those to do what? Build presentation, communication, feedback, and networking skills. So here's the makeover. Pulling that key statement up into the headline here, asking two bold italic questions that name their pain or desired outcome, capture a screenshot. This is a very simple makeover using the images and just rearranging the placement. Again, following the priority. What's the real estate? So here's from District 1, also in Los Angeles. And watch a couple of things. So right there above the word speechcraft, it says join us for. Let's, relevance is there. Let's get rid of the join us. The confirmation, yes, okay. The call to action, yes. We want to do a couple more things. Add the time zone. Add the time zone. And let's flip that photo. Implied motion, bring that photo, again, facing right back into the layout. All right, this one's from District 84. Let's see. Dean, are you attending today? I know you had planned on it. So do we have Dean in the house? All right, so I'll proceed. All right, so then the club name is Presents Everything Toastmasters. No, it's not. It's West Volusia. All right, so out of Florida. So then this could be the meeting theme. And again, one thing that we need to do is flip that photo. Flip that photo. All right, so then this I'm going to say is an internal sample. External from New South Wales. So Kylie Scar, thank you very much from Camden Toastmasters. Good day. Let's see, it's going to be, yes, it's very late in the evening for you in Australia. All right, so join us. Reserve, direct mail us. So again, kind of tweak that just a little bit, but again, using our TI branding photos, that works. What I do like about what Camden does is that they have a member speech highlight. So they actually quote someone after the meeting as an external message. I think that's really clever. All right, so Linda Stewart, back to you. Thank you for the second sample that you had provided. And this is from one of your other clubs. So based on what you've learned, I would love to see a makeover of this one from what you've learned from the session. So please email me with these two makeovers. Again, start with what you've done, tweak it so it becomes a good template going forward. This one I pulled, it's out of District 56, Houston, Texas. And the club name is Determined to Master Speaking. Aside from the text and the what goes where, I love the high, sharp contrast of that happy yellow, which is kind of a little bit more gold in this particular case. The icebreaker is one of our fonts. And I love how crisp it looks. It got my attention. Now, granted, he's standing at the lectern, he is looking off the page, but the other one is coming back in. So those are good things. All right, so I have some questions for you. Feel free to comment in the chat. What ideas have you gained so far from this workshop? And we're going to be opening up for questions, and we'll probably have about 10 minutes for questions that I can further address. What ideas did you gain from this workshop that you will use for promoting your club and your events? So feel free to light up the chat. And the second question is, what groups or organizations do you know of that could benefit from conducting a Speechcraft program? So I'm going to click open my chat. Thank you for your conversations. Thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, Craig, for your comment. Please do not stand in front of the club banner when taking photos. It's a club banner that is marketing tool. Yes, you can stand to the side and the name of the club. Thank you, thank you. All right. Susan, I believe, and thank you. So we have a question that you're on the phone. Is there a way to get the chat with recording? I believe, yes, our Zoom masters will take care of that for you. So yes, thank you. All right. Although we do not use the sun rays anymore, there is nothing that says that we cannot. So thank you, the gradient rays. We can use more of the gradient shading on that. So yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, questions? All right. Okay, so let's see. Oh, so photo positioning. Thank you. So that's an idea that you're going to use. Thank you. Thank you. Leo, thank you. I like the whole speech draft section. Don't use join us. Yes, I know. We're so friendly. And we do want them to join us. We need to reframe it though. All right, so how to structure our invites, our words to use, how to use the pictures, the brand alignment. Yes. Asking the question around the pain point, what is being offered right on the top. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. We are the solution to their problem. They might not even know that that's the problem until their boss sends them to us. All right. So thank you. You learned about the relevance, confirmation, and call to action and how important these are to capture for our ideal audience with the limited time that we have with them. Yes, seconds. It's seconds. All right, so Shiva, you like the idea of promoting the webinar and free instructions or workshops and then tailoring the promotions, great, to the group that you wish to attract, right? All right, so whatever ideas that it is that you've had, please implement them as quickly as you can. If you can, as we wrap up this workshop, is to go back into something that you've designed or take something one of your club members has designed and kind of draw a sketch on a piece of paper of what might you change on that. Maybe take a printout and tape it onto a sheet of paper, and then you actually mark up what goes where. We all learn from each other regarding this. The sooner that we start implementing these ideas, the deeper that they will stick with us. So we definitely want to do that. And with that, we are going into our Q&A time. So mark it like a pro. Anytime that you promote your club to potential members and think of everyone as a potential member on that, then they just don't know about us. And when they do find out about us, they're going to love us. So you know that. All right, so back to you, Madam Program Quality Chair, our director, and our, great, thank you. Angel, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so you said you want Q&A.
Yes.
I'm just asking, you want people to be able to unmute, or how do you want that to work?
We can do that, or you can field them. Either way, thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to ask everyone to raise their hands so no one speaks over each other. And we will unmute you so that we can get the questions. We have a hard stop in 7 minutes. So just to let everyone know. If you don't know how to use the raise hand function, please put your name in the chat and we'll call on you through there. Don't be afraid. I was like, when Sheryl was going through her thing, I was one of the people she corrected. I'm good. Okay, right. So we have a question from Leo in the chat.
Okay.
We should promote workshop or seminar. Oh, we should promote workshop or seminar as opposed to open house for better traction from the public question.
Correct.
Yes, it's all about, as Sheryl was saying, it's all about the wording. You got to understand, like, open house means nothing to people who aren't us, and even to newer members because they still don't get it. You got to remember DTM. Yeah, right. DTM means nothing to people. So you have to say what it is and explain why it's important for people to actually understand it. So instead of saying DTM, we have to say distinguished Toastmaster. And then that makes it sound a little bit fancy. Right.
And if it's relevant to whatever that event is, otherwise it might not be relevant. Well, we do have a winner, by the way. So District 100 was invited to submit their samples, and we have selected a winner, by the way. The club is Advancing Speakers. So you win 1 hour of Zoom Consultation with me, the value is $300. So, fellow Toastmaster family members, anytime that you see such a bonus in the future, make sure to participate. I have seen a 1-hour session with a club here in New York turn around a club that was pretty much dying. And with that, they are now in president's status. Amazing. All the fun that they
Cheryl,
are having. Yes, go ahead.
sorry. We have one
Hey,
question from Annalisa.
thank you. From Africa. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi, I am so jealous. I missed the part where people had to send in their invites so that I could also have an opportunity to win. Cheryl, I have a poster here. I've noted everything that you've said. And sometimes you come up with posters that are really nice, but they don't gain traction. Would it be wise to use, because I've tried using Toastmaster hashtags before, because I read somewhere that you have to use Toastmaster hashtags, especially for social media, but those also just attract people who are in the, what do you call this, in their area that is aligning with Toastmasters. So like me and you, people who are familiar with Toastmasters, but not necessarily the people who are outside now, which are those we want. So how would you go about in terms of us creating hashtags?
Thank you. The easiest way to do this is for external messages is to use hashtags that people would search for, that they want to gain those skills. Hashtag leadership, hashtag public speaking, hashtag speaking, hashtag time management,
Hashtag
whatever it
fear
is.
of speaking.
Well, hashtag fear of speaking, hashtag confidence, confident public speaking, any of those, especially externally. And they do not go in the poster, they go in the social media text that goes with the poster on that. Lena, you're nodding your head. Did you want to say something there too? Because you're quite a dynamo in promotions. So Lena's going to add to this regarding hashtags. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with what you said, because when I started posting on social media not long ago, I didn't know what hashtags to use. And then I learned this from someone, to try to have the right amount of hashtags, not to have too many of them also, because that could also be, it'll be too busy. So to have the right amount. And I believe it was something like, have 3 hashtags about what you are offering. So like the words that you said, leadership skills or public speaking. So what is it that you're offering? And maybe 3 hashtags about your club, if there's anything unique about your club. For example, in our club, we focus on trying to become a keynote speaker. So maybe use those unique, values as some of the hashtags. So that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you. I thought you were going to say that a maximum of X amount, which I would say what you were saying 6. Some people say 5 or less, and make sure to tap into LinkedIn in addition to your Facebook. And depending on who your ideal member is for your club, it might even be Instagram. And these animated TikToks, and if you can do reels, bless your heart, you're younger than me.
I can add on how to do that. So I don't know anything about the marketing placement on posters, but I could tell you how to turn stuff in your meeting into a reel. So if you record table topics, get member permission to do it. It's 1 to 2 minutes. A reel is normally 90 seconds. So if you can get them to wrap it up in 90 seconds, you have an entire reel every time someone gives a table topic. You can also take pertinent points of someone's speech for a minute at a time and make that a reel.
There you go. And people love those.
If you didn't know, if you make it 60 seconds, the format of the video that goes into Reels, TikTok, and Shorts are all the same sizing. So if you make it 60 seconds, it applies to all.
There you go. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Well, with that, and since we have you spotlighted, then let's return control to you. And thank you for hosting this program. I know that after we did the Speechcraft Learning Lab, you said, oh my gosh, we have to have more. So thank you for the invitation. And it's been my privilege to serve you. Thank you all for attending. And we do know that both the posts and the handouts will be, so the video and the handouts will be posted, as well as the saved chat. So while you're there, click open the chat box, click the 3 little dots to save chat. It's been my privilege to be here with you.
Thank you. And I'm leaving today with the same thing in mind. Is I'm working in career as well, and I'm like, damn, I need to hire her. So that's just my personal perspective, everyone. That's not Toastmasters, but no, every time you've come and delivered something for the district, you've given us some kind of value. Like when it was Speechcraft, and I'm a PKD and I had no idea how Speechcraft worked actually. And then you came and explained it. I'm like, oh, that's why it's important. So thank you. I'm pretty sure we're going to see more of you because I'll have more crazy ideas. For everyone here who has questions, please email them to training. Lena can either answer them or forward them to Sheryl for her to answer for you. We do have a hard stop right now, primarily because I have to go to a doctor appointment.
All right, so save chat.
Thank you
save
all.
Chat. Thank you very
Save the
much,
chat.
Angel. Lena,
It is
thank you
gonna
so
be-
very much.